So this one's going to be kind of a little bit different video than others. So I'm walking around in the park right now. Looks like we may be getting some rain. But this one is, what if the Bible is true? Alright, so at one time, I was sitting trying to figure out how would the whole world get the mark of the beast? Well, thank God, the mask thing came up. So it kind of gave me an idea, and it should give other people ideas about this. The whole world is wearing a mask over a virus that kills maybe 1% of the population. So the whole world, is giving up their rights to a virus. Sit and think about that, quander that for a minute. Is this virus real? I believe it is. I 100% think the virus is real. Do I think we need to take precautions? Yes, we need to take precautions. Do I think it's as bad as everybody makes it out being? There has not been any evidence saying so. And the numbers they give has always been different. Always. Alright? So everybody's getting planned up for a special pass to make sure you've been vaccinated or being tested. Okay? All under the illusion of safety. Okay? This is how easily it is to succumb of losing your rights. If it's this easy over a virus that's killing 1% of the population, an argument's sake, 3%, for safety, then with all the people out there as demanding us to wear the mask, don't understand the reason that the same people is forcing you to wear the mask and you're agreeing to wear the mask are the same people that's going to take the mark for safety? Again, I was trying to ponder this and figure out at one time how would they be able to do this? And Lord behold, no plan intended. They show us how they're going to do it. Alright? We got coin shortage. How do we get coin shortage, y'all? Sit and think about this. We've never ever had coin shortage. And all of a sudden, we have a COVID appears, and just out of the blue, we have a coin shortage. So, let's look at a couple of situations about America. Are we going to be the ones saved or not? Now this, just for argument's sake for y'all, I believe in a higher power. Alright? But if I strike down the middle of this park right now and pass away, I'm going south, not north, according to what the text of the Bible says. So I'm not a righteous person according to the text of the Bible, okay? So this does not benefit me or destroy me one way or the other, okay? This is just what I'm thinking at the present time. All right. So since I know a little bit about the Bible, the lion is England. The eagle wings was on the lion. Okay? So the eagle wings was the United States because we came from England. Okay? Now, many months later, the wings been plucked, has never been shown again. So, that being said, what happened to America? Well, I'm under the illusion of seeing what's going on around America as of today's perspective. Alright? There's two outcomes in this, according to the Bible. Alright? That I'm understanding. It don't mean this is true, so do not take this as the word of God or anything, okay? This is just my individual thoughts. Alright? So, there's one or two things that's going to come up with America. Number one, we will be on Israel's side. And a lot of us is going to be saved. Because in the Bible, who's against Israel is going to be crushed. Who's for Israel at this time is going to have some type of protection, okay? It don't mean they're going to have full protection. It just means they're going to have some, okay? So, this is the way I'm looking at it. The United States of America, since it does not show anything, which means that, according to the Bible, that we are undecided. It's for we the people to decide whether we're going to sell our souls to the devil or we're going to stand up for Israel. Okay? And we're not going to suffer total destruction of our country. Okay? Until the time really actually comes. Okay? Now, from what I'm understanding, the number one thing that we need to know about is when Israel signs the 7-year peace treaty. That is the beginning of the 7 years. Okay? Then the second coming is going to be at the end of 7 years. Alright? Now, this is where me and religious people is going to have a cross lines of hairs. Okay? Most religious seems to think they're going to be pulled from the earth and vanish. Okay? But they said God would come down, or Jesus would come down and grab them and rise above the heavens. Alright? And then come back and king of big kings of all kings. Okay? When Jesus comes down and puts his foot down and say, that's it, y'all. Alright? But when you read that, from their perspective, when you listen to their perspective, so I get this straight. Jesus came down, when he was born, cleaned this up, and preached the word. Then he comes down, takes his people up in the sky. Then he comes down and puts his foot down and be king of all kings. There's a problem in that theory. There's only 2 comings. Not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. 2. Alright? So it enhances that the second coming, and when he takes his people, is going to be at the end of 7 years. So God's people is going to be suffering through the 7 years. 3.5 good, 3.5 bad. But they're going to be here during the whole 7 years. And as far as I know, by religious wise, religious people's always been tested. They've always been locked up in prison. They've always been beheaded. When every time they've been tested. Okay? So this hasn't changed. The Christian people are going to be tested. It's just that plain and simple. Now, some of y'all may have a dispute on this, and that's fine, because I'm just going off the text that I understand. Okay, I could be completely wrong. All right, but what I know of, there's only 2 comings, and the way they're talking about it, there's 3. Jesus here. They're going to come, save the people before the 7 years. That way the people is protected. And then Jesus is going to come down and be king of all kings. That's still 3. Nowhere does it say 3. That part I do understand, and that part I know for a fact. It does never say 3 or more. It says 2. Second coming. No more, no less. Second coming. Alright, so for all you religious people out there, it's no more, no less. It said second coming. He was here. He comes back, takes you away. That's the second coming. That's over with. So how is that 7 years and then Jesus comes back down and be kings of all kings? He can't. It can't be done because there's no third coming. Alright? So all you religious people, from what I'm understanding from all this, is 2 comings, and everybody's going to be picked up at the same time. He comes down to stomp his feet to the ground and take over on earth. That is the second coming. That's when you rise with him, and then all the religious people is to be guardians for the next 1,000 years apiece. And then again, you know, I'm not going to go any further than that because you go into after 1,000 years, devil's going to be released, and everybody's going to be tested again. So just because you have 1,000 years apiece, don't mean it's going to end. It's not going to end. Okay, 1,000 years apiece is going to end, but you're still going to be alive, and you're going to still be tested after that 1,000 years. So you still going to be tested before the war, before the book of lives, before anything is done like that. So anybody that goes in there is automatically going to be saved according to the text. That I understand. This is all the people that have survived through all the tribulations, okay? Through all the crap it's going through, all right? A lot of people are supposed to die. A lot of them are supposed to take the mark. When you take the mark, you're going to die. When he takes reign. That's it. Once you take the mark, it's going to end for you. Alright? Now, the people who don't take it, they're going to die in the process because you're not agreeing with the government. Now, there's going to be some that's going to live. But the test is, are you or are you not going to take the mark of the beast? And if you will take the mark of the beast, when Jesus comes down, you're going to be destroyed. When you're not, and you're fully with him, then you're going to rise and be transformed and take over. And you're going to have the medium class that did not take the mark of the beast, but there wasn't righteous people from the beginning. It's like, how would you say it? Born again is the best way to describe it. Again, y'all, I'm not an expert at this, and this is what little information I've gotten, what little I read, but it kind of does make you wonder. This virus is the beginning of a test to see how compliant you're going to be with the government to have you take the mark of the beast. Alright? So, that being said, I don't know exactly how that's going to work. Again, I believe in a higher power, but according to the Bible, I'm going south, not north. So this is a bipartisan issue for me. Okay? So, it's just food for thought for people just to think about. You know what I mean? Is this the beginning stages of us complying with the government and follow through with the mark? Oh, by the way, I don't think the mark of the beast is going to be so transparent. Okay? It says right hand or forehead. Alright? So I'm leaning towards lawful things. Okay? Again, it may not be that way. You sign a contract with the government to get rid of all your rights. You just sold your soul to the government, which enhances you sold your soul. Alright? If you have thoughts of complying with this, and if you go in there and say, okay, well, I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to do this, enhances, you still took the mark. You still did a halfway contract. Again, I could be off base on that. Then you got Bill Gates pushing the computer chip. Enhances. Why would anybody want it on the forehead, number one? I guess that would go with people who don't have a right hand. But why is it necessarily right hand and a forehead? Why not right, left, or wherever at in your body? That just, really, to be honest with you, this is not even a God thing. It's just stupid the government even defines it that small. Really. So if it does come to pass, that just seems automatically stupid. Well, either you can take this computer chip in your right hand or in your forehead. Which one? Well, what about my left hand? No. All right. What about in my butt? No. You know? So I'm just pointing out that obvious deal. I don't know why that would even be. But if it does come to pass, and if that's true, where in the world did they get the idea to limit it into a right hand? And why in the world did even forehead come up? Why don't we just stick everybody in the forehead? You know, at least with the forehead, if your head doesn't exist, you're dead. You know, you can lose a right hand. What do? Lose a right hand, then you turn around and you get another chip, and then stick it in your forehead? So, that part don't really make any sense to me. This is decent for we the people, just blurting out things. You know, this is just a conversation. Like I always say, push that like button, and if you want, spread me like a prostitute. Till next time, y'all. Live peace. Quit demanding others. Okay? That's just plain out the way it is. You have freedom, I have freedom. Quit demanding me to get rid of my freedom. Bye, y'all.